Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Oh no, another handbag scandal. Now today we're talking about something that cuts straight through the fantasy of luxury fashion. Yet another luxury brand is under scrutiny, and this time it is Valentino Bags Lab of the luxury brand name Valentino. Did we already forget about the Dior scandal? Because I kind of feel like we have, or that just buffered the fact that this Valentino fashion house is not in as much hot water or scandalous because now it's becoming normal. Okay, so here's the news now that Valentino Bags Lab, a unit tied to the luxury fashion house, was just placed under court administration in Italy for, of course, labor exploitation. Now, listen, I love fashion just as much as you do. I love fashion and history and heritage, the design and craftsmanship. But I think it's time to talk about what's really going on behind these used to be luxury labels. And I know, she keeps talking about the same thing. She keeps coming on here to bash these luxury brands. Why is she such a hater? Now, I used to think luxury brands were it. I thought it was the goal, the aspiration, the real deal, the art, the craftsmanship, the history. But wait, was it really the social status? Was it the validation? Because the more I learned, and I even worked for Louis Vuitton, there is no wizard behind the curtain. In fact, the wizard looks like these guys. Actually, they are these guys. These are the CEOs of the luxury conglomerates that you are worshiping. It is not Louis Vuitton. It is not Coco Chanel. It is not Cristobal Balenciaga. It is these guys who bought the name, who bought out the brands, using that luxury history heritage to their advantage to make themselves richer. Well, you do not get richer. So let's talk about it again, because last week a court in Milan, a sector of the Valentino brand, culpably failed to supervise its suppliers, choosing profits over people. The company was outsourcing production to Chinese-owned factories inside of Italy. It was not in China, it was in Italy. Very similar to what happened with Dior and Armani just a few months ago. So what's the response? The court appointed an external administrator, someone to essentially babysit to make sure that this brand cleans up its act when it comes to outsourcing manufacturing. Now, the keyword here that most of you don't know is supply chain. It is often the story that is told is that small batch, hand-picked artisans working on one batch at a time. But the truth is, most of these luxury brands have a supply chain, just like any other manufacturing. Now, here's what most people don't realize and don't want to believe. These luxury labels do not make all of their products. Much of it is outsourced. And not just to one little workshop in one little village in Spain or Italy, but to dozens and sometimes hundreds of third-party manufacturers. And these manufacturers are not exclusive to one brand. You might find Armani, Dior, Valentino, all under one manufacturing house. There might also be Ferragamo, maybe some mid-tier leather brands that we don't often hear about because we're so obsessed with luxury. And this is happening all over the world. When the bag says made in Italy, made in Spain, or made in France, what we're discovering it means is that it might be assembled in Italy, but the bulk is made somewhere else, and possibly under exploitative conditions, often by workers with no contracts, no protections, overworked, underpaid. They claim to send auditors to audit these supply chains. But the problem with the auditing system is these auditors are not part of the judiciary system. They can only report what's going on, but that does not mean that the brand is going to take action. They are most likely not going to care. In fact, as so long as the work is done. It is very, very easy to turn a blind eye. I have worked in the fashion industry, and the production is way, way more complex than the average consumer will ever know. It's not so easy as let's just move it to the next factory, because these brands are huge and we've already met the CEOs. Their purpose, if it's a publicly traded company, is to please the shareholders, to raise the bottom line, profits over people, profits even over quality. I know you have seen the quality in these luxury labels go downhill. Now let's get back to the story. This is the real story because investigators found some disturbing conditions such as workers sleeping inside the factory, working 12 to 14-hour shifts, wages below the legal minimum, even 9 employees without contracts, no insurance. Okay, now let me say this again. This is happening in Italy, not a third world country that we often ignore. This is happening where luxury brands are supposed to be made and they sell these products for $3,000 for a handbag and hide it under the guise of heritage, history, craftsmanship. Now, are we aware yet? Because here's the part where I am trying to help people be aware of the illusion, because now I am convinced that the public likes to be fooled. When I say people, I'm not talking about you directly, because I know someone's gonna go, oh my God, she's talking to me, she's hating on me, and I'm gonna read. Specifically, I mean the public in general, the luxury consumer, consumers in general, those that aspire to luxury. We think that it means you're buying ethical products, integrity, and artistry. You're paying one designer, you're paying into history. We want to believe, oh, I'm doing so much more for the planet than fast fashion. But now if the supply chains are basically the same, if the labor abuse is the same, then what are we paying for? What is the consumer paying into? What story are you being sold? And what story do you keep believing? The illusion, the unicorn, the logo, the social status. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay, you know I'm gonna bring this up. The knockoffs, the dupes, the replicas, because that is my thing. That is the thing that Hulu came calling me about. Like, let's talk about some replicas. Because some of y'all still shame fake designer bags for being unethical, for stealing designs and using cheap labor, for being made in China, for funding terrorism. But didn't we see from all these TikToks that these so-called luxury products are being made by the same type of factories? And how many of you are conspiracy theorists that think Louis Vuitton is just knocking off their own bags? Because that would be smart, right? So I've heard the argument, I'd rather support an entity that is paying fair wages. But now we have seen it's not just one story, it is a pattern. These luxury brands are not paying fair wages.
D'accord. Et qui c'est qui vous a donné les équipements de protection? Ah, c'est vous qui les avez achetés? On vous en donne pas ici? D'accord. Vous travaillez combien d'heures par jour? 13 heures.
Why is one more ethical than the other? Criminalize, we glorify luxury labels, the labor conditions, the manufacturing processes. They're not any different. And this is the same delulu by those of you who are offended by counterfeit goods because your bag costs more, so you must be worth more than the person who refuses to buy the real deal. And then you call the person fake or poor because I can afford it and you can't, so you must be jealous. Personally, I don't find pleasure in lining the pockets of billionaires for no reason other than social status. And I love these replicas because they're a nice waving finger to the brand. I forgot which finger. So I am glad this is all coming to light because this is not just about Dior and Armani. It was just a few months ago that Dior and Armani were put under court jurisdiction for the exact same thing. This isn't a scandal. It's a pattern. It's a system. And it's a system built on outsourcing, plausible deniability, and a whole lot of diversion and creating a narrative that luxury is good and everything else is bad. Everything else supports terrorism, exploits people. No newsflash, just because you paid more for an item doesn't mean it's ethically better. These luxury brands don't want you to look too closely. And for years, the public, I just don't want to see it because I already paid, I already gave into it. It's not just luxury brands, it's also common brands like Nike, The Gap, Tommy Hilfiger, Polo Ralph Lauren, which just further goes to show that brands like Loro Piana, Louis Vuitton, Valentino, and Gucci indeed have the same manufacturing processes and supply chains as these regular brands. Now, here's the truth that people do not want to believe. A lot of these practices are happening concurrently and overlapping. There are many things happening all at once. This doesn't mean all luxury is bad. All luxury is good. Now, for instance, there might be very high quality manufacturing in Spain and Italy where the work is monitored, where workers are treated fairly. But there are also very bad exploitative practices in the same countries. There are indeed factories in China that are producing the Nike and Louis Vuitton collaboration, as well as in the other end of the factory, they are producing the next Nike SB Dunk for Foot Locker. The internet is so wild, it has made people actually very small-minded and made people think that there's only one unicorn and you can only have things one way. Of course, almost everything is made in China. If you have been under a rock, you probably should know that. But that does not mean that all luxury is made in China, and it does not mean that if it's made in China, that it's bad. In fact, the US and Europe has done such a good job at outsourcing almost all of their manufacturing to China that they are actually very good at manufacturing. The CEOs of these luxury and non-luxury brands know that if you outsource, you can get workers 7 days of the week and you can increase your production and lower your costs. Okay, but furthermore, it also does not mean that if it's made in Italy, that it is or is not exploitative. That does not mean that places like Spain do not exploit their workers. We have all developed this one-way road of thinking that it's so much about if you don't agree with me, you're bad. And with marketing and the internet, our character is now tied to our materialism. Ugh. So now what do? It's good to stay informed and to stay neutral. Think about these questions, or shall I say accusations, and challenge the narrative, always. Stop assuming a luxury price tag automatically means ethical production. And rather than asking who made this, I'm gonna ask myself, do I need this? And remember, supporting a brand or not does not make you a good person or a bad person. But ask yourself, what is my shopping for? Is it for my social status? Because this isn't about shame. It's about awareness. Just be good people and be good neighbors. Now, if you're still here, thank you. I feel this is the kind of conversation we need to have more of. So drop your thoughts in the comments and let's keep it going. If you want more fashion without the sugarcoating, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.